Hi there, my name's Alistair Kennedy and I'm the Sociable Social Worker, and I give practical advice to social workers and those wanting to foster and adopt. And in this video I'm going to give you some top tips on how to pass your social work university interview. Top tip number 1. Why do you want to become a social worker? That's what they're going to ask. And you need to be very clear on why you want to become a social worker. Don't say, as I say in all my interview videos, I want to make a difference. Loads of people say that, and that's something that you should avoid. But you need to be clear on why you want to be a social worker, and you'll know in your heart of hearts why you wanted to become one. Did you meet a social worker when you were younger? Have you been involved with social work? Or is it just something that you think you can make a positive change? Top tip number 2. Have some overarching knowledge of legislation in the UK for social work, and also the social work standards in the country that you're applying for, be it Scotland, England, Ireland or Wales. In England, it's Social Work England standards that you'll be asked about in the interview. You don't need to know them off by heart, but make sure you've got some questions or some answers lined up that actually say that you know at least some of the overarching principles. Top tip number 3. The written test. Now, written tests are really daunting, but don't feel overwhelmed. It's usually a case study, and let's face it, you can't prepare for a case study. They're going to give you a case study, a scenario, and you're going to have to talk about it, or you're going to have to write it down. So there isn't much you can do for that unless you've got experience before. But what you could do, write down some scenarios that you may have encountered and how you manage them effectively. There's probably going to be a group discussion as well, and that's via video link, but don't get worried about that. Just make sure your IT's up to scratch and that you know how to work Zoom and Teams, and don't try to dominate the group, but don't sit back and be a wallflower. Make sure you be an active participant. Top tip number 4. Have an idea of what area of social work you want to work in. Is it children and families? Is it adult services? Is it criminal justice? Just have that idea and think in your head why you want to work in that area. It's not just as simple as saying, yeah, I want to do that, I want to do this. Make sure you really impress upon the interviewer why you want to do that kind of work. Top tip number 5. You need to master your IT skills. You need to do a lot of written work as a social worker, and it's really IT heavy, so you need a good knowledge of Word. You might even need a knowledge of Excel, a basic level. I'm very basic at that. So it'll be good to impress upon them that you can use things like Word, or you have a time management app that you managed your time as a student or in previous jobs. Just be clear, that's what they're going to ask you. Make sure you impress to the interviewer that that's the things that you use and you will use going forward, and that you're not scared of IT. Top tip number 6. If you've got no experience in social care, don't worry. Use your experiences from previous jobs like, I don't know, Burger King where I worked, or as a waiter in a bar where I worked, and talk about the skills that you have, the enthusiasm you have. You could have oodles and oodles of experience in social care, but you might not have the enthusiasm, and that's what interviewers for universities are looking for, enthusiasm. So there you have it. Good luck in your interview, and let me know in the comments below how you got on. If you like this video, give it a like. Thanks very much for your time, and I'll see you all soon.